Thank you very much. Very good morning to all of you. I'm so happy and honored to be invited in this workshop and share with you. And especially, I request to the organizer that today maybe I would like to share my experience about as the early career scientist. Although my occupation currently is associate policy analyst, but basically my experience in research is just started when I started my PhD several years ago, so about 7 years ago. So I think this is for other scientists who, and especially other graduate students who are now thriving to get graduated. So maybe this experience I share is related with all of you. Okay, I would like to share my PowerPoint. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Huh?
Yes, yeah.
Can you?
It's already,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, I have problem. Why I cannot use the slideshow? The slideshow doesn't work, but you can see my my screen, right?
Yes, Bu Ana.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Yuni, and thank you. This is also very honored for me to share the workshop today and speak in this very important event with my supervisor when I was in my PhD program, Professor Cheng. She was a really distinguished professor and very nice supervisor to me, and very much helpful during my journey PhD, so I can graduate in time. So thank you very much, Professor, for this. For the opportunity being your student. And from that experience, I also understand the importance of writing studies and research. And now it's very much useful for my new career as a policy analyst. Okay, so for today, I would like to share with some outlines here. The first, I will discuss about why everything for publication. And the second, I would also share with you where should I begin, because this is also a very important question, especially for young scientists. And what are high impact journals and why? I think some of the important messages are already delivered by Professor Cheng. And the last one is how to do it. Because time is limited, so I would like to share all the outline I highlight here in overview way. So maybe not going into very detail, but based on my own experience. So when I started my PhD, as I said 7 years ago, actually I had no really idea how hard it is. But in that time, I just was very happy to start a new journey. And because I went to study my PhD, bringing the whole of my family. So it was kind of, at first, I thought, wow, that would be a nice vacation. And especially we did going abroad and no more phone calls from the bosses, no more telephones from the other partners from other key stakeholders, something like that. Because when before I embarked my study in Taiwan, my daily life as a policymaker was quite busy. So it was a very exciting journey at first. Okay. Okay. So I will start with why writing for publication. For me, it was because I was a graduate student. So as Professor Cheng mentioned already said, it is to publish or to perish, because one of the important requirements to graduate is I need to publish in a good journals. In Taiwan, it was required to publish in SCI or SSCI index journals. In that time, I did not have a really good understanding what is that, but then I received a good explanation what kind of indexing journal database that I should look for in order to my publication to be regarded as meeting the requirement for my graduation. So in that time, it was like a force from the university regulation that I need to publish, because otherwise I will not graduate. But for all of you who already graduate and started your early career as a scientist, you do the research, maybe because, and then you want to publish because you want to share or disseminate, whether it is your opinion, it is a commentary on other research or other review products, or maybe you want to share your research results, or you have some knowledge or technology or some practice that you gain from your work. And the second, maybe because you want to share, and then you will need some constructive feedback on your work from other experts in the similar field, because you want to continue improving your work. So you need, of course, some feedbacks from other experts. And the third, maybe you want to get connected with people, especially who have the same interests or do the similar work, because then you will get some collaborators, not only limited from your own country or from your own organization, but also you can expand your network to the global experts. So this is why you need to publish your research. And I think this is also very important because when you write a publication, I also Professor Cheng mentioned about this. This will be a very significant experience to push your career and professional growth. And especially from my experience, before I start my PhD program, little I knew that there would be a transfer about the structural position in the government institution, from the structural position from echelon 3 down to functional position. So in that time, when I started my PhD program, I was in charge as the deputy director of HRH planning. And then when I start my PhD, it was because I think I need to learn more about the research, because previously when I did my master program, I did in master work coursework program. So I had very little experience about research. So during my experience as policymaker, I also learned that creating or developing the policy should be based on evidence. And I have very little knowledge about it. So I was very excited to start the PhD program. And then when I finished my PhD program, and then there was a new policy to transfer from the structural position into the functional position, I realized that what I did during my 4 years away from my work was really worthwhile. So I'm sure for all of you, especially if you start your career as a teaching staffs in the universities, or you are joining with the research institution, or whether you are now doing other functional positions in your office, I think it is very important to have a writing skill. So what benefits early career scientists can expect? So first, if you have experience in writing, it is very easier for you to get funded. You can apply for research grant, award, and scholarship, because some of those sponsors usually look at your CV, whether you have experience in writing or not. If you have experience in writing and your work already published in some journals, it is easier for other reviewers to see whether your work already regarded as the qualified one, So it would be very easy for other reviewers to understand whether you are a qualified candidate or not. So it is very important for you to start writing. And the second is get a good job. If you are now studying and you start writing and you can publish your work in highly qualified journals, so I think it is very likely for you to be offered a good position in your university or maybe in other institution. And this is also important for you to keep a job. If you keep productive in writing, of course, your boss will be very fond of you because you have a good performance in your works. And finally, it is also a very good tool for you to get promoted because every publication you will receive credit points. Even for me as an associate policy analyst, I will also receive 20 credit points for international publication. So if I write something, I have to think which credit points that I can receive most compared to other works, so that I can increase my my credit points by selecting which one that give the highest credit points. So where should I begin? Before I did my PhD program, actually, I also had some little interest in writing, but as policymaker, usually we are requested to write some policy briefs and also some reports. And I was lucky because previously I also joined an international project in the Ministry of Health. So I had chance to learn how to write reports in English. And also, in that time, I also received some information about some alliances that offer call for papers, and those who submit papers will be invited to present the work in the conference and also get funded. So previously, I also happened to receive information from my office that these two alliances, because I work at the Center for Planning and Management of Human Resources for Health, our institution received information from these two alliances. The first one is from the AAAH, the Asia Pacific Alliance for Health, Human Resources for Health. And then the second is from the Global Health Workforce Alliance, from an independent alliance from the WHO. So in that time, to join with the call for paper participation, this is my early works. I started to submit my work based on my daily program. So it was from best practice from my work. So the first one is I share about my work on providing incentive for health workers in remote areas and presented in Beijing, China in 2007. And then the next year, I also got funded to present my work in health workers in the country border in Sri Lanka. And I think in the next year, I met Pak Ferry, and he was my partner in writing, and also I learned a lot from him. And we submit our first joint work, viewing decentralization as opportunity improving availability of health workers in underserved areas. And our work was invited to join with the joint expert meeting with the WHO. And our work was also cited in this book, the recommendation for increasing access to health workers in remote areas in 2010. And then because I already know some people, some experts from these alliances, I also happened to be invited to collaborate writing with some experts in the WHO and the Alliance. And then we worked together writing review paper. This one also based on our work in our office for the Human Resources for Health. So it was actually the first time I learned how to use referencing tool, and also how to meet the requirement from the journal, how to answer the feedback from the reviewer. So it was really my first time to have a real connection with the journal, with the scientific journal. Okay, so after that long journey, before I start my PhD and present my early work, so this is, here I am in my Scopus profile, so you can also check that writing is also part of my job now, and I'm very happy to be part of the team member of research member in Universitas Airlangga, and it keeps me productive, and some of the writing now becomes credit points for my position in my office as well. So first thing first, for you as early scientists, I think the first one is you need to have motivation, goal in your mind. What would you be in your future? If a scientist is become your future career, so you need to build your motivation that writing would be one of your daily life. And the second, if you want to write in the publications, you need to read lots of papers. Everything would start from practice, and you need to have more knowledge in order to produce a good paper. So you need to have knowledge on the topic or your interest. You ask yourself, what is my interest? What is the topic that I really know about? And the second, I think this is also very important. You need to have knowledge on journal database. In Indonesia, usually we refer to the Scopus and also Web of Science. And also this one is very well known about the Google Scholar. And Professor Cheng mentioned already teach you how to understand or how to access those journal database. And mentorship and supervisor is very important because they teach you how to work on your first writing. I was very lucky because my supervisor always have time to discuss with me. And also I have mentor, Pak Ferry was also my mentor. So he also taught me on how to work on those things, starting from understanding the research design, searching what would be the most impactful title for my study, and also look at other papers that have a similar interest with my work. And also one of the very important is collaborator, because I think if you work alone, maybe it would take very long time for you to understand whether your work would be have impactful for the high impact journals, because then you just wait for the reviewer to tell you what your paper needs to be enhanced. But if you have collaborator, then you can work together and they can give you some critics. So make sure that you have a good collaborator with your friends or colleagues at your work or other institutions. So this is a must-have skills. Maybe it is quite overwhelming if you are students, just like what I felt previously when I start my PhD, because in that time I have very limited knowledge about research design. So I learned what the research design from my course in PhD. And also at the same time, also I need to learn how to use the SPSS as the data analysis software. I also need to learn how to use EndNote and also later Mendeley. And also I learned which database journals that can help me to find the most good references. And also I need to learn how to use the Turnitin, how to use the Grammarly check, and also because I also try to use the qualitative method for my research, also need to learn how to use the software for helping me in doing the analysis in qualitative study. So why high impact journals, and what is that? I think you also have learned from the previous session from the keynote speakers about why publishing in high impact journals is very important. So basically, if you submit your articles in high impact journal, it means that your article published would be have very influential, because it would be regarded by the academic society with an outstanding reputation. Because a high impact journal is measured from the high rate of citations. So it would be a good chance for you that your work would be viewed and regarded by global readers. So I think many of you already hear about Scopus. This is the largest up-to-date collection of global, unbiased, and expertly sourced research. And usually citation is also used for the university metrics evaluation, or one of the criteria that used to measure the rank of the university. So this is one of very important indicator to understand what the university rank. And we can understand, because this is high impact journals, usually they only accept high quality manuscripts because it would attract more readers, higher impact on research, policy, and practice. So usually the acceptance rate is very low. So you need to understand that you need to have when you select the journals, I think you need to prepare Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. If you are not accepted at the first round from the A journal, then you have to consider what next journal you aim for. And if you are, if your paper is accepted in high quality journals, then it is a prestige for your institution and also the author. So it would be very meaningful for you, for your career, and you will get a promotion because you will receive higher credit points. And later, I would like to share about how to do the publication in high impact journals. I would not say it is easy, because it took me years to get published in a high impact factor journal. So I would say that the struggle is real. So this is a journey that you have to mentally prepare yourself and also get ready for yourself to receive critics from your peers, from the reviewers, and you must, and especially if you were like me, I start my PhD not in a young age, and I also bring small children with me. So you need to prepare yourself for lacking of sleep, because you have to juggle your daily activity as a mother and also as a student, and also you still need to produce a good writing in order to publish in a good journals and get graduated. So it is the struggle. So the first one, you need to start your planning. You must think about submitting your research when you plan your research. So when you do your research, you already have in your mind which journal I will aim to publish my work. And you also need to have your question. It would be meaningful, and you can also expect that your question would be answerable. And very important is the novelty of your work, because most of papers will ask you to write a section, a small section that written like what this paper adds. So you need to prepare that there is something from your paper that add knowledge or maybe practice that previous works may be still missing. So your paper will have some value to be added. And the second is the protocol of your study and also the publication as your strategy. So you can learn about the STAR protocols, for example, from the open journals that help the researchers to conduct experiments, or maybe some other protocols that help you to ensure that your work is following the standard that measure as a good quality in a journal. And the next one is focus on the publishable data. And I think you can also learn that some data maybe not always necessarily be the primary data source. You can also use secondary data like from the Demographic and Health Survey, from the IFLS, Life Family Survey, and also from other free data source. You can also learn from other sources like from your routine report data that regularly collected by your office to produce some research using those kind of data and write for the publication. So what would be the publication process? In a simple way, you can see that you start your study on something that interests according to your interest, and then you write the results. After that, you submit to the journal, and then the journal will receive it, review it for the first round, and then see whether it is meet the aim and the scope of the journal or not, and then give the decision to you. Otherwise, if the editor did not reject your submission, he will inform you and forward your paper to the reviewer to get checked and provide the feedback whether or not they will suggest that the paper is suitable for publication after some revision, and if they agree with the writing in your publication, then your paper will be accepted. So there's some steps to take. I would suggest for you that please do not rush to submit. You need to reread your work and also share with the college. And also you need to feedback from your friends and colleagues before you submit to the journal. And I think I agree with Professor Cheng mentioned, you need to select an appropriate journal. I think you can also use some journal finders to help finding the right journal, because then you can understand whether your work is suitable with their aim on or scope of their journals. And also beware of predatory journals. As Professor also suggests to you, you can find and Google it, which journals that may be from predatory publisher. And I also suggest to follow the ethic of publication. I used to learn from other colleagues that they submit one manuscript to 1 or 3 journals at one time, because they would see which journal can respond quicker. But I think you should follow the ethic of publication. So just submit on your manuscript, one manuscript to one journal only at one time. And second, it is also very important for you, if you don't want to get rejected at the first round, you need to read the aim and scope of the journal and also follow the author guidelines, because otherwise maybe your work is worth to publish, but because you don't follow the guidelines, then your paper will be rejected at the first round. And this is also very important about title and abstract. You need to impress the editors and also the reviewers that your work is worth enough to be published. So make sure that your title and abstract in a very concise way that it would reflect the content of your manuscript. And also, because for us, English is not our first language, so you need to get a professional help for English editing, maybe also from other professional help if you are not sure about your data analysis, or maybe how to put some tables in your paper, how to present your tables, or maybe other things. Also write a good cover letter, and also every reviewer, you need to address their comments carefully. So you need to write in a table, I think, and address every single reviewer comment, even though maybe you think that their comment does not make sense. If you think, still you have to address very carefully, and maybe you need to also give some evidence, and also you need to revise your paper following their suggestions, and usually you need to put the different color to easier for the reviewer to understand that you already make some revision in your manuscript. So what would be the structure of your manuscript? Normally, we have title, abstract, introduction, method, result, discussion, and conclusion. But to make it easier for you to make the paper concise and to avoid repetition in any part of your section in the manuscript, we can recommend you to start with your method. Then you can see what your hypothesis here, what methodology that you use to analyze your research. And then you can go to the results and you see whether your results is meet with your hypothesis. And then you go to the introduction because you cannot write repetition in your work. And then the next part, you write the discussion, because discussion would refer to your results. And also you need to refer some of your explanation in the introduction to keep your works in a coherent way. And then you write your conclusion, and maybe also provide some recommendation for future research or practice or implication to the practice or the policy. And then you write your abstract based on the content of your manuscript. And then maybe you can think of what would be the most powerful title for your works that can best represent your work. So for the submission process, I think after you write your work, then you can follow some process here. You write to the editor, and then they will provide you some feedback, give the decision in the email. I think some journals now, they have online submission, so you can upload your work in the online application that provided by the journal. So how long your decision will be provided by the editor? I think it depends on the journals or the journal indexing. The editor usually give you feedback ranging from maybe like the one that give the example from Professor Cheng mentioned was IGNS. IGNS normally in 2 weeks provide the first decision from the editor. But from my experience, it was various from depending on the journal. For example, when I published in the Health Planning and Policy, it took me 9 months to receive the first decision. And we need to ask to the reviewer, to the editor twice in order to receive the decision. And for the other journal like International Nursing Review, it was only maybe 1 month until I received the first decision. And the editor informed me that the paper is under review from the reviewers. So it really depends on the journal. So what would be the major reasons for rejection? So you always keep in mind that your paper would have a very high chance to get rejected from the high impact journals. So you need to prepare your mental, because some comments sometimes maybe not very nice, very harsh comments. So you have to keep in mind and think that every comment is from professional views, not attack you personally. So just keep that in mind. So usually the major reason for rejection is poor preparation. So maybe the article is still in a draft. That's why I recommend for all of you to reread your manuscript before submission. Or maybe the article is too narrow. You only talking about your country or maybe your province. Many times when I review articles from international journal, I read that the introduction always only talking about the province where the study was conducted. So if you want to attract more international readers, make sure that your article should be not too narrow about your own region, but expand to the international audience. And another reason is poor English, because then the reviewer may not understand what you are talking about. My English, my speaking is not very good as well, because I also learn how to speak English when I start my study in my master program. So and also it's not my daily conversation. So of course my English is not very good, and that's why I recommend for you to get help from a professional English editor. Even when my first experience writing with my co-author, with a native, she was an American, so and she has also experience in writing English, academic English. Still, one of the reviewers suggests us to get help from the English professional editor to improve our English writing. So even if your co-author is native, sometimes it's still very important for you to get help from a professional English editor.
Pardon me, Bu Elna, 5 minutes left for you.
Okay, thank you, Bu Yuni. I'm almost done. Okay. And the next thing is poor technique. Maybe your writing is too short or too long, so please do check with the author guidelines for the article length. So maybe 5,000 may be enough, but for other journal maybe less than that, or maybe you still can have some more. And also maybe you submit to the wrong journal because your article is irrelevant with the aim of the scope of and the journal, and maybe it's not suitable for the readers. And maybe because you have nothing new to add in your article, so maybe it's not very attractive for the editor to accept your journal. And also improper writing style. So please, it is very important to write, to give the writing style. I often found in the paper submitted to the international journal that the writing still in a thesis form or maybe in like a report form, not following the writing style from the journal. Okay, so these are my some of the example of my works when I did my PhD, and also the journal that I submit my work. So you can also see that even though it seems that it was published in 2017, and I was started my PhD in 2014, so it took me maybe around 2 years to get published. So that's why if you start your PhD journey, start writing when you start your PhD journey, because you know the time to get publication process is quite lengthy. So beware of that if you want to graduate in time. So this is the two first my publications, and recently I also published my work in Collegian. Please have a check. So I basically published my works in quantitative and qualitative studies, trying to understand and put my knowledge on research design into practice. So that's all my sharing for today's session. Thank you very much. And my message for all of you early career scientists, just don't give up. Just keep going, keep writing. Thank you very much. I give my time to you, Bu Yuni, back. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibu Ana. I think it's a great presentation, and I think it's a great experience from Ibu Ana, especially for the new early scientists, how to get the success to publish in the high impact journal, I think. Okay, we are going to the next question and answer session. Please, if all participants want to your question directly, you can click your raise hand in your account. If you don't ask your question directly, you can write your question in the chat box. Please, there any question from to Ibu Ana? Okay. Still waiting the directly question. There are a question from the Miss Naili Husaimah, Ibu Ana. I will read the question. Hello, Mrs. Ana. I'm Naili from Sumeneb Universitas Wiraraja. I think a good article start from a good research that include its method. So maybe you can give me some suggestion. How about doing the good research with the minimal funds? Please, Ibu Ana, maybe your answer.
Yeah, I think if you want to write thank you, it is Ibu Naili from Sumeneb. I think this is a very good question. I think many of us sometimes, especially for early career scientists, we do not have much money in our hand to do research. So sometimes we do not have funding support to do our work. I think for you as an early scientist, you can also try to find some free data that can be used as a source of data for you to do the analysis. For example, I think you can also learn from the USAID program, like Demographic and Health Survey website. You can also Google it. This website provides some free data to download for anyone who have interest to analyze the data. It was about the Demographic and Health Survey. In Indonesia, it is usually known as Survei Demografik dan Kesehatan Indonesia. It has very good data. I think range from year, I think before 2000, I think. So it's a long span data that you can also use if you are interested in doing the trend study, for example, or maybe you want to analyze on certain issues on maternal and child health, for example. Because from my experience, one of the example that I also show you, the first one, about Suami Siaga, that was published in Health and Planning Policy Journal. It is published by Oxford Press in UK. My first work was also based on this free download data, because in that time I also was a PhD student. I live from scholarship, you know, it's not that much. So I need to find some good data that I can use to write a good research without much money involved. So basically in that time, I only spent, because the data was free, I only spent money for English editing. And I also get support from one of the professor in a public health department, and also one colleague who are very good in statistics analysis. And I engaged them to collaborate in my first book. So that's why having a collaborator is very important if you are short of funding, because then you will receive so much help and no need to spend much money for that. So I think there is always a chance for you to publish in a high impact factor if you can find any other possibilities. I think now it's very easy to find everything because everything you can Google it. Thank you.
Baik. Okay, thank you. Ibu Ana, I think it's clear the question from Ibu Naili Husaimah. I would like to invite all participants, if you want to ask the question directly, please click your raise hand button and your account Zoom. And maybe, okay, there are the, I would like invite, raise hand, but I don't see the raise hand. Okay, okay, I would like invite Bapak Bambang Priyono. Please.
Thank you. This is my voice.
Okay.
Here. Thank you for Mrs. Yuni and Mrs. Anna for the chance. This is a scary opening for me. Publish or polish or publish, you will finish, but it's a joke. Mrs. Anna, the last time I was college is 14 years old, 14 years later. According to you, I don't start a journal. There is so many problems outside. We can find problem with ethics, operator journal, and many equipment for making journal. According to your experience, what must I do? I have 14 years time, let's go for college, and I will start from now. Because from the start, I'm looking publish or perish, publish or finish. It makes me so scary. Thank you.
Okay, please, Curly, Ibu Ana.
Yeah,
okay,
thank you.
Please,
don't feel threatened. Yeah, always taking the first step is always not easy. I would not say it's easy, but you need to take your time and be nice to yourself because everything would be easier if you do practice and practice. That's also what I did, and perseverance is very important. So I think if you want to deal with some, because you notice that there are some points before publish your work that you need to understand, like ethic issues, and also about how to beware of some predatory journals. In my experience is that I always ask. If I don't understand, I will ask my senior or my mentor or my supervisor. Please don't hesitate to ask if you don't understand. And I think from my experience, because I started my Ph.D., I have some courses in research design, and also from ethics in publication was also one of subject in my course when dealing with the bioethic in research. So I was also gaining some knowledge about this issue when I took the course. So I think if you happen to be a student now, a graduate student, I think some of the subjects taught in your program, in your course, would also include those things. So if you happen to sit in those course, please don't hesitate to ask the facilitator or your professor to really understand about this issue. And then the second about predatory journal, I think the first important thing is if you already have a journal in your mind, or maybe one or two journals that you want to select, maybe because of the recommendation from your colleagues or because of the the length of the review that is not too long, but still you need to check whether the journal is included in the list of predatory journals. So that would be avoid any further problem for you if you check first.
Okay,
I hope that's answering your question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Ana. There are one more question, directly question from Ibu Filza. Ibu Filza, please.
Thank you, Bu Yuni, for the time. So, Bu Ana, it was really insightful material, but I have one question relating to the submission process. You mentioned that sometimes the reviewers give us too hard question or too hard review for our manuscript, and also it doesn't make sense. So I would like to ask about, is it a must for us to follow all the suggestions for the reviewer, or we can choose one and refuse the other by giving some rational reason for that? Thank you.
Okay, please, Ibu Ana.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Filza, for a very good question. I think it is very important part of your publication process. If the reviewer already gave you comments, then you have a 50-50 chance that your paper would be accepted if they are happy with the way you address the reviewer comments and also the way you revise your paper based on their suggestions. Some reviewers usually give you comments based on their experience and based on also their knowledge. So if it happened for you to receive a comments that you think the comments is somewhere else, doesn't make sense, then you still can address that comments when you provide your response in the response to reviewer sheet. And you can explain why in a logic way. So it is very important to write your reasons in logical way, and also you need to convince why you think that you are on the right track in writing your results or maybe in providing your discussion. And don't forget to always say thank you to the reviewer, because they already spend their time, their energy, and their thought to read your paper, to try to give you constructive feedback. So if you think that some of those feedback not really sweet to your work, you still can provide explanation and the response for the reviewer. But I think most of the time in my experience, I also have one experience with one of a journal when I received maybe 7 pages length of reviewer comments. So you can imagine with a lot of comments, because sometimes a journal will ask 2 or 3 or even 4 reviewers to review your journal. So when I received those kind of length of the reviewers, still I had to address each question carefully. If I don't understand one of the comment, I also turn my head to one of my co-author or other collaborators in your manuscript. That's why it is very important to have your collaborator, because if you don't understand one aspect, then you can ask others. And then after we thought in that time that we address all the reviewer comments accordingly, the second review also came with so many other lengths reviewer comments. In that time, if we think that they address different kind and we think that some of those comments we could not address in our paper, then usually we reach to the editor, whether it is possible for us to still address the reviewer comments and make revision if we think we could not address all those comments, and we think that it would be impossible because, for example, maybe some reviewer said that you need to do reanalyze your work. That would be a very, like starting your work from a very beginning. Then you can discuss with the editor. Some editor will suggest that maybe you resubmit your work as the first submission, or you can withdraw your work and submit to other journals. So you will have that kind of choices. Thank you, Bu Filza and Bu Yuni.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Ana. Due to the limited time for this discussion session, I apologize to didn't read one by one to question that the chat box. Maybe the unanswered question, maybe you can directly by email. Is it okay, Ibu Ana? Or you can write your answer in the chat box.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Ana. And the next session, the committee organize will give your a certificate. Please, the organizing committee. Okay. Ibu Ana, please accept your certificate.
Thank you very much. And thank you for inviting me to this workshop. Very happy. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ibu Ana. Okay, for the next session, we are going to the last session, I think, but it's not a last session because we have a great speaker to deliver the last topic. And I would like to invite Bapak Ferry, Ph.D. to give his presentation. Hello, Pak Ferry, are you ready?
Yes, Ibu Dr. Yuni.
Okay, before Pak Ferry share his presentation, I will read the CV of Bapak Ferry. Okay, I will share here. Oh, yeah, Bapak Ferry. Currently, he is the faculty member at Faculty of Nursing, Universitas Airlangga. And then he passed the doctoral PhD in nursing from the National Cheng University, Taiwan, Institute of Allied Health Science. And he passed postdoctoral degree, School of Nursing and Midwifery, La Trobe University, Melbourne, Australia, and a lot of professional training that have been doing for since 2008 and until 2020. And then a lot of publication. He have been produced in the document in the Scopus, a lot of document, 105 document that's published in the Scopus, and with the 396 citation in the Scopus, and then the document in the Google Scholar, 271 document with the 3,168 citation. I think it's a lot of his publication. And quartile 1, he have 21 article that published in quartile 1 journal in Scopus, and a lot of book chapter that have that he produced and then she have the give awards from the 2021 as awardee of World Class Profession Program by Kemendikbud Ristek, and a lot of experience, I think, published and as a consultant Indonesian maternal and newborn health activity pre-solicitation released in the United States agency. Is a lot of experience, Pak Ferry. I think it's enough to read curriculum vitae of Bapak Ferry Effendi. Okay, we start the last presentation from Bapak Ferry. Bapak Ferry, are you ready? Let's start your presentation. Time and screen yours.
Yes, thank you very much, Ibu Dr. Yuni, as a moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to share my material today with all of you. Firstly, let me express my sincere gratitude to the Dean of Faculty of Nursing, Professor Yusuf, and also Bu SD as the Vice Dean in the Research, Innovation, and Community Development, and also thanks to our world-class professor partner, Professor Cheng. Actually, she was also my advisor during my PhD degree, and also my experience working with her. Professor Cheng is very supportive, excellent, and I learned a lot from her expertise, and also her wisdom. And also thank you to all of the organization of world-class professor program team and all of the attendees at this last session. Please stay with us until maybe around 12. Actually, my material today would like to talk about the impact of your research and publication. So sometimes the researcher, lecturer or scholar, often ask how to describe the impact of our own work, and how to track the research and publication that we had produced, maybe a long time ago, and we would like to see whether the publication itself, it's come to reach out the community, and also it is visible, through download, save views, and also mention, on blogs and other social media. So here, I think I would like to talk pragmatically, and want to share with all of you how do we find out how many times our article has been cited, also how to find a journal impact factor, how to find our age index, and also how to increase the citation, through increasing the visibility of our intellectual property right, or our publication. So allow me to share my PPT.
I didn't see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm talking about the impact, and especially particularly, I would like to focus on research and publication metrics, how to track and enhance the impact of your research. So this is quite a way of a workshop, So in this session, you will learn how to learn the research metrics, especially at national level and also international level. And the second one, we are going to find the citation, and impact, especially the impact metrics, using a range of database academics, And then lastly, we would like to share with you how to compile a mini citation, and impact report that showcase your excellence, using at least your 5 publication, So firstly, let me share about the data sources, regarding the impact and tracking our publication, So the first one is we should know the terminology of citation metrics, The citation metrics here, if we are talking at national level, we should recognize SINTA, So SINTA is Science and Indexing Technology developed by Ministry of Education, Culture and Technology of Indonesia, And at national level and at international level, we do have Scopus, Web of Science, and also Google Scholar. Yeah, and mostly as mentioned by two previous speakers, yeah, funding bodies generally require metrics from Web of Science, yeah, or Scopus. Yeah, so if you see that all of the call for funding, yeah, call for grants, yeah, or call for proposals, yeah, mostly they require the minimum edge index from Scopus or Web of Science. Yeah, and the second one, we would like to share with you the alt metric. So what it is and what is the purpose and benefit using the alt metrics. Yeah, and later on we talk about journal metrics. Yeah, and lastly we would like to share with you list of citation databases. Yeah. So the first one at national level, yeah, we do recognize data sources from Indonesia. Yeah, so the data quite diverse, yeah, quite a wide range of data and quite rich. Yeah, so it's provided many material, yeah, especially from the reading material, yeah, and then research implementation, and then the research report, yeah. Also, we do have a platform of intellectual property right. Yeah, we also have a platform for the integrity of academics and also the research metrics itself. So the database ranging from Garuda, yeah, from the left to the right side is Sinta. Yeah. So if we look at the national research tracking, yeah, we should see that at student level, yeah, or at national level, we can look at the national publication at Garuda, yeah, and then for the student, yeah, mostly they deposit all of the student paper and also student research, yeah. We can take a look at Rama, yeah, and also we do have a Simlitabmas for the database of national research grant. And also we have a database of lecturer through PDDikti and intellectual property right, yeah, through the platform of DJKI. And lastly, for the book, yeah, we do have the national library, yeah, especially they provide how to apply for the ISBN and other things related to the book publication, yeah. And this is the features of Sinta. Yeah, if you look at the Sinta, you can find so many useful resources. Yeah, starting from the publication tracking, yeah, intellectual property right, book tracking, yeah, national accreditation journal from Sinta 1 to Sinta 6, yeah, research tracking, yeah, community health service tracking, yeah, until metrics and benchmarking. So I would prefer to mention that Sinta is not only for national database, but also for the international, yeah, because they do provide bilingual languages, yeah, not only Indonesia, but also in English. And here we can easily find, analyze, and also compare all of the productivity tools, yeah, provided by Sinta. So as this is workshop, you may have a time to register at Sinta. Yeah. So please kindly do by yourself. Yeah, at your free time. Yeah, at your home, at your house. Yeah. How to register on Sinta and how to get the all of the features here. Yeah. Integrated automatically with your identity. Yeah. So feel free to follow this link and also to learn how to find, use, and also disseminate Sinta. Yeah. And the second one, we are going to the Scopus database academic. Yeah. So as mentioned by a previous speaker, also this is one of the largest citation databases. Yeah. Mostly when we talk about major databases, yeah, both Scopus and Web of Science Verified Analytic, we mostly use the citation number. Yeah. So here we also would like to find the Scopus metrics, yeah, for both at author level and also at article level. Yeah. So for the author level, we should recognize its index, yeah, number of documents, and also the total citation. Yeah. And for the article level, we should look at the total citation, citation benchmarking, and also the field week citation impact. And this is the example of our field with citation impact. So what is field with citation impact? So FWCI is a citation tools that show us the performance of our publication. So if the number is more than one, it means that our publication is above average of the total citation of the world on the same field. So let's say on this publication, we do have the FWCI is more than one. For the first one is 2.01, the second is 2.08. So here it means that this article have high impact because the FWCI number is more than one. But if the FWCI is less than one, it means that this article has a low impact. So you can find the FWCI number on the Scopus Database Academic. And this is the Scopus profile matrix. At author level, we can see our H index. We can see the total citation, and also we can see the total number of document produced by the each author. This is actually the activity for all of the participants. So you can do by yourself. Please look up your Scopus profile and also record the following metrics, especially the H index, number of document index in Scopus, and also the total citation. And finally, you can show up the 5 career-based publication. Starting from the total citation, Scopus citation benchmarking, and discipline area, and also the FWCI. So we going through the Web of Science database academic. I think Professor Cheng already mentioned that this is the toughest, the most difficult one to get published here. So the struggle is real, said Bu Anna. This is really challenge us, how to know or how to understand deeply what are the journals indexed by the Web of Science. So the Web of Science consisted of various fields in our academia, starting from art and humanities, and also medicine, nursing, and also life sciences. So here you may see all of the indexation included here as a core collection. Especially the science citation index, social science citation index, art and humanities citation index, and other major indexing. So in the Web of Science matrix, we also would like to divide into two. First, the author level, we can see the H index and also total publication. And the article level, we can see the total citation. Again, if we talk about the impact on the quality, it must be related to the citation, and number of citing articles, and also the average citation per article. So if you log into your Web of Science profile matrix, or you can use the Publons, you may find the total number of your publication, and also the total number of citation and the H index. Mostly if you have a higher H index in Scopus, so maybe the H index in Web of Science, it is quite below the Scopus. So if the Scopus is more than 10, I believe that the H index in Web of Science should be less than that number, because not all of the journal indexed by Scopus also indexed in Web of Science, and also not all of the journal indexed in Web of Science indexed by Scopus. And this is the activity for the Web of Science. You may try to explore the Web of Science database and find your H index, total publication, and also the times cited. And we go to the low indexing for the database academia. We go to Google Scholar, especially the Google Scholar tremendous, yeah, in the number of document or record. Yeah, it's now maybe it's more than 500,000 documents. Yeah, and also this is the largest one of database academic in the world. Yeah. And the Google Scholar Matrix, you may find its index, total citation, and also total publication, and the article level for the total citation. Yeah. So here, if you see the Google Scholar Profile Matrix, yeah, you can see that the total citation number, also its index, and the I-10 index. Yeah. So it has a different meaning. Yeah, different definition, and you may find it at Google Scholar Profile dashboard. So the next activity is for the 10 minutes. Yeah, you can set up your Google Scholar profile and try to look up your metrics in your existing profile and record the following. Yeah, including its index, number of publication, total citation, and also the 5 best publication. Yeah, to show the total citation. Yeah, and this is the link of setting up the Google Scholar profile. Yeah. Okay, now we move to Altmetric Explorer. Yeah, the Altmetric tag. Yeah, it used to help the researcher, yeah, especially to collect and aggregate online activity, yeah, on the mainstream media, yeah, on the public policy document, on the blogs, on the social media, on patent, and many more. Yeah, especially when or beyond the Scopus and Web of Science database academic, yeah, you can find that the Altmetric tracks really useful, yeah, when you want to reach out the layperson or the public itself, yeah. So by tracking on social media, I think you may find various information and also various impact, yeah, to show up or to showcase your research product. Yeah. So at Altmetric Explorer, you may see the output track, yeah, output with attention, and also the total mention, yeah, by the social media. That's why it is very important if you have a new publication, yeah, please share it, yeah, or please post it, yeah, through your social media, yeah. And also the second one is the article level. Yeah, here you may see the attention score, mention, readers, and also the citation. Yeah, yeah. This is the dashboard of Altmetric Explorer. Yeah, here you may see that this article title. Yeah, it has been mentioned 6. Yeah, in various sources. Yeah, including policy sources. Yeah. And then Twitter's, Facebook, and also Google Plus. Yeah, so it can track many online resources and bring to us the analytic data. Yeah, and then the next one we are going to talk about the journal metrics. Yeah, especially if you follow the guideline from the dictee. Yeah, you may want to see the SIMACO journal ranking. Yeah, and also the site score. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Scopus journal metric. Yeah, normally we would like to see the site score. Yeah, like here for the journal of addiction. Yeah, the site score is 3.64. Yeah, and the SIMACO journal ranking is 2.777. Yeah, it is quite high. Yeah, so you may want to use this one as the compulsory requirement. Yeah, for being professor in Indonesia according to the guideline of angka credit. Yeah. So the next one is the journal citation report. Yeah. So for the journal citation report, we use the term impact factor. Yeah. Impact factor. It is the term used by the Web of Science database academic. Yeah. To identify and also to let the readers know that the highest impact factor. Yeah. It means that the highest quality of journal itself, yeah, like Professor Cheng said, yeah. And yeah, this is the idea for your narrative, yeah, when you want to share or you want to post your research and publication to the public, yeah. you may want to use these several statements, yeah, to attract, yeah, or to reach out a wider audience. Yeah. Okay, this is the activity, yeah, regarding the citation. Yeah, so you may want to complete all the activity, yeah, using 5 best publication, and also fill in its template, yeah, in your workbook, yeah, and also use the note area to capture any metrics, yeah, or alt metrics, yeah, that provide evidence of impact or engagement. Yeah, so you may want to compile in one Excel, yeah, from all of the various research metric, yeah, and try to pay attention to the one that may be less likely to share, yeah, and also you want to focus on that area. Yeah. Okay, this is the last one of my presentation, increasing the visibility of your research, yeah, because nobody care about your research product, yeah, nobody care about your publication. So the one who should care is, of course, you, yeah, you as the author, yeah. So you must tell people about your work. You must describe your work in plain language, yeah, especially to the lay person. You must include common people in the project. You must maximize discoverability of your work, yeah, and also you must embrace social media discussion, yeah, and yeah, please share it, yeah, share with your the responsibility that it is legally shared, yeah, by you and also by the publisher, yeah. So this is the way that we can increase the citation or the impact of our publication, yeah. And yeah, it's already mentioned by Prof. Jingmin, so I just skip it. Yeah, and then lastly, when you have a publication, of course, you have to promote your work. Yeah, you can promote or you can deposit your work at ResearchGate, yeah, at Kudos, yeah, Mendeley, Fixer, and Academia. So I believe if you spend your free time, yeah, to at least share at this media, your citation would be quite significantly high. Yeah, so please use these several platforms to increase the visibility of your research. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all from me for this session. I turn back to the moderator. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Ferry, that delivered a great presentation. Based on your presentation, we know how we can tracing and enhancing the impact of our research, and many things that will must to do to increasing visibility to our research. Okay, for the next session is a question and answer session. We will invite all participants to give to ask your question. Maybe if you want to ask question directly, we can you can to click the raise hand button, or you can ask your question indirectly with write your question in the chat box. Okay, Pak Ferry, there are question from Ibu Haryani. I will read the her question. Pak Ferry, what do you think? Submit to open access journal to publish quickly. Please, Pak Ferry, maybe to your answer to this question.
Yeah, thank you, Ibu Haryani from Gajah Mada University. Yeah. Okay, talking about open access, yeah, actually open access giving us a benefit, yeah, a lot of benefit, yeah, and one of the benefit is increasing the visibility, yeah, that's the first one, and the second one is reducing the time, yeah, of the publishing time, especially, yeah, so it takes quite faster, yeah, than the regular journal, yeah, but unluckily the most disadvantages getting published at open access journal is it is very expensive. Yeah. So if you look at the journal with the platform of open access, yeah, from PLOS ONE, from the Lancet, from BMC, from BMG, and yeah, any others open access journal, they have a quite expensive article processing charge. Yeah. So it started, if you aim the quantile one, yeah, the Q1, it started from $2,500 US, yeah, or even less or more, yeah. but and the maximum is let's say the Lancet, it is $5,000 US. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's for us is really expensive. So if you don't get any funding, yeah, or if you don't get any support from your institution, please keep in mind to choose the hybrid journal. Yeah. So the hybrid journal, it has two options. Yeah. First is the open access, and the second is subscription access. So if you choose the second one, subscription, yeah, you don't have to pay any money, yeah, and you can save a lot, yeah. But actually, regarding the Buyani question, yeah, for the publish quickly, yeah, in open access journal, they do have a faster review time, yeah, but I don't think they have a quick publication, yeah, because mostly even the review time is very short, yeah, yeah, because if we were the reviewer of the open access journal, yeah, we will given time like 2 or 3 weeks to review the article, yeah, and even sometimes they just give us 7 days, yeah, to review the article. But the review is very rigorous, yeah. So let's say +1 or PMC, yeah, they just give us 14 days to review the article, but the review itself very lengthy, yeah, like Bu Ana mentioned, maybe it has 7 to 14 pages, yeah. And a lot of revision, a lot of comment from the reviewer, yeah. So actually, quick or not, it's depend on first is the author itself, and the second is the quality of the article itself, yeah, because many factors related to the quick publication at open access journal, yeah. But in my point of view, a lot of benefit, yeah, getting published at open access journal, and you may want to use the faster review, yeah, to enhance the impact of your research and publication, yeah, because everybody running out the time, and yeah, we should get published as soon as we can by open access journal, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pak Ferry. I think it's clear that answer to question from Ibu Haryani. Okay, I see Bapak Sony Gunawan will ask the question. Please, Bapak Sony. Please unmute your audio.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Yuni, for your chance. Good afternoon, Pak Ferry. I want to ask, how about in your experience, how to increase the probability of your article to be indexed in high impact journal, and what journals that you like best or you like to prefer to make it indexed in a high impact journal?
Okay, thank you.
When journals that you prefer to be published. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Pak Ferry, please, to answer his questions.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sony Gunawan. Yeah, the first question, I think, talking about probability. Yeah, maybe the same question as asked by Professor Cheng. Yeah, it is a tough question. Yeah, because when we go through the publication process, yeah, we face the uncertainty things. Yeah, we face the uncertain time, uncertain decision, yeah, and that's beyond our control, yeah. So what we can control is the quality of our manuscript itself, yeah, and also our team, yeah, and that's why before submission, yeah, before submitting the article, I think the most important thing is be ready, yeah, and also be prepared with the rejection, yeah, that's the first one, and also you have to enhance and improve the quality of the article as best as you can do, yeah. So the probability, yeah, let's say 50-50, yeah, but I think it's depend on the impact factor itself, yeah. The highest impact factor, yeah, the chance to get accepted or published lower, yeah. Let's say if you want to get published as at the Lancet, the acceptance rate is less than 5%. So if there are 1,000 submissions there, it is normally only less than 5 articles accepted at the Lancet. So we should be ready for that knowledge, and we should get prepared to the rejection, and also to the if we consider the high impact factor journal. That's the first one. And the second one, of course, because I am a nurse, we are on the nursing area, what we like most to get published is on nursing subject journal. So if you see at the previous presentation, Prof. Chen mentioned about International Journal of Nursing Studies. I think that's the dream, that's the life idea of all of the researchers at nursing field, to get published at International Journal of Nursing Studies. And also you may consider the Journal of International Nursing Review, managed by the ICN, International Council of Nurses, as the Council of International Nurses from all of the countries. It is also prestigious journal, and not many Indonesian nurse scholars have been published there, and this is also the right choice to get published there. So that's my answer.
Okay, thank you, Pak Ferry. Okay, I will invite, maybe are there another question from the all participants? And maybe I will read the question, the previous question. I think in the previous session that who addressed Ibu Ana, but Pak Ferry maybe answer this question. From the question from Bapak Israfil from the UNER Doctoral Nursing Program. Can you explain to us how to find out which journal are at risk of being discontinued? I have had experience publishing in journal that were eventually discontinued. Maybe is there a strategy to prevent it? Pak Ferry, maybe.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Dr. Yuni. So, discontinued journal, it is commonly happen to ensure that all of the articles indexed by Scopus meet the minimum quality requirement as guided by a Scopus team. So it means that discontinued itself, we cannot avoid it, we cannot predict it, and also it is very hard, to see that the journal having outlier behavior, But one thing that you should keep in mind that discontinued journal normally they have massive number of publications, So if you see one journal, has been published, let's say in the year of 2020, the total number of publication 1,000, and then in 2021, this year, they already published 2,000, with around 10% increase from the previous year. I would conclusively confirm, that this journal maybe have a high chance of getting discontinued. So that's the simple way how to detect the journal would be easily discontinued. So please watch out the number of publication year by year.
Okay, thank you, Pak Ferry. Are there any question for all participants? Please, maybe any question, you can ask your question directly. I think there are not questions. Okay.
We have participant from Biak, and also from Makassar,
Oh, from the other island, the other Java. Maybe all participant from Sumatra Island or the Biak Island, Biak.
And also we do have participant from outside of Indonesia. I see the name of Anruifa, yeah, and
Letrinlam.
yeah, some foreign name, yeah.
Maybe you will ask your question from participant, the other foreign for participant foreign in this session. Okay, I think there are not question again, Pak Ferry, and thank you for Pak Ferry that have delivered a great presentation in this session, and I think we will end this session. For the next session, please organizing committee to share certificate to Pak Ferry. Please, Pak Ferry, accept the certificate from the committee.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pak Ferry. Finally, we will end this session. Thank you for all speakers, and then thank you for all participants that your attention to this session. And I am as the moderator sending apologize if there any confusion in guiding this session.